My name is Andrea Love. I am the 2023 president of the Boston Society of Architects, and I'm a principal at FAIA, where I am the director of our building science group. Yeah, I think it was really great to have the Leadership Summit in Boston this year. The Women's Leadership Summit was started by a group of amazing Boston women and had never been hosted here. So I think it's great. Boston's a great architectural town, so it's always nice to have people come and celebrate with us. I think it was particularly great this year with Emily being the president of the AIA and being from Boston, that there was a really nice synergy with that. I would say, for me at least, one of the key takeaways of the Equity and Society panel was actually the diversity of people on it, particularly how they took their architectural education and had very different careers. I don't think any of the four people on the panel would be considered an architect traditionally in the kind of traditional sense, but I thought it was really interesting the ways in which people leverage their architectural education, whether it be in kind of public policy or government, to different kind of non-traditional roles in firms, kind of redefine for themselves what being an architect is. I think principals can start by asking people what some of the barriers there might be, particularly groups that might be traditionally underrepresented, or there's significant percentage leave the profession. I think actually just starting by having conversations and understanding what are the barriers some of those people are experiencing, because often many of the principals in the firms may not have experienced similar things. And so I think the first step is always just to ask the question and listen. And then you can try to start to address specific things that you might be hearing, whether it's people need time and flexibility in the way that they work. Maybe being able to come in later or leave earlier because they have obligations at home, or the ability to kind of dial up and dial down their hours as they may need based on family or other outside obligations. So I think having those conversations and listening and understanding can then allow us to try to help work together to figure out solutions. My advice for emerging women would be to seek out and find others in the profession that have similar careers. I think most people are very willing and generous with their time, and so finding others that you can kind of have a mentorship relationship with or build a relationship with can be really helpful. I would also say that one thing I wish I knew earlier on in my career was the power of your voice. I'm naturally kind of a quiet person, and so I would tend to not speak up often. Because I thought this was my lane and maybe that something was slightly over there. But I think one thing I've learned as I've gone through my career is just the power of saying something. Even if you don't have a lot of power, you still have your voice. And so if you see something that seems like it is not right and inequitable, that you should speak up for that, because people listen and often change can happen, whether it be big or small. And so I think just having the confidence to use it and raise it when you need to is something that I wish I knew earlier on in my career.